Thank you, Mom. All right, all right, I'll ask him to repeat it. Okay, Mom. All right, bye, Mom. Bye. No matter how far you go in life, always answer your mom's phone call. All right, Martin Rios should be an impact. Joaquin Mendez. Arturo Campos, impact. James Sean McGee, impact. Zachary Gilmore, impact. Catherine Sanchez Aguilar. Mario Kellum, impact. Carlos Alaman. Dennis Johnson.
Here.
Walter Charles Weller. Francisco Sotelo, custody. Christian Dunbar. Esther San Miguel. Thank you. Kyle Ernst. No, that's, oh, sorry. Thomas Contreras. Are you Thomas Contreras?
No,
All right, so he's in custody. Adriana Herrera. Esther Diaz, custody. Missy Anna Torres.
Yeah.
David Castro. Andre Moody, custody. Tyler Ashbaugh. All right, is there anyone who's present and your name was not called? Hank, what's your last name?
Oh, he's under McGee, Judge. He needs to be down in impact for trial.
All right, you need to be in impact, second floor. Yes.
Darren Johnson, Your Honor, I was told that there was, Norma had put me on the docket for June 27th and I didn't show up, so I should come today. I showed my next court appearance to be July 29th.
All right, just have a seat. We'll get with you. Anyone else?
No, you called Kristen Dunbar.
Yes. Christian Theodore Dunbar. All right, anyone else who came in late or your name was not called? All right, everyone, please confer.
Is there David Castillo? Or Castro? David Castro?
But Cornelius, so Florida,
For sure.
I mean, other than it being bittersweet, did you get a chance to see family?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't answer.
We want a stamp cover while I was there.
Oh, hey, that's good.
So, you know, you don't know what ice is, ice hockey and that type of stuff.
But you all did it.
We want a temp. So.
Okay.
So I was shooting. I'm waiting on my hat.
Well, you know, the guy I was talking to with the LSU thing on his slingshot. He was asking me, well, I was asking him, I said, so how do you think our football team's gonna do this year? He's like, oh, we're going to the playoffs. I'm like, okay.
This is 12. This is 12 team.
Yeah. Am I gonna be doing what that girl was doing when LSU was playing Florida? Hi. But yeah, it was hot at the parade. It was about 100 degrees. But Jacqueline Smith, she did a good job of putting the parade together. When you see a single person's like, you know what, we're doing a veterans parade. And so it was the 4th annual Charlie Watkins Veterans Day Parade. And a lot of people came out, but it was 100 degrees and you had, I think it was about 50 or 60 cars. And a lot of them were in convertibles and in the slingshots, people riding motorcycles. I don't know how you can ride a motorcycle in this heat and still have the leather on. Rolando's looking at me like, no, I don't know either. Oh, it was the 4th annual Charlie Watkins Veterans Day Parade. No, okay, I know that was gonna be hot too.
He was one of the cars on the street.
Mhm.
And there was people that were there.
Yeah.
It's a time. It was,
Yeah. I always try to go every year, but because of other things that are happening, I couldn't make it. Yeah. Oh, Pride Parade is always fun. Oh, it's always packed and it's always burning up hot. I don't know what we can do. Maybe have parades either early in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Well, I will tell you the other thing is when people say a parade is going to start at a specific time, it needs to start at a specific time. Yeah. I've been before where it starts at night and then it's like 45 minutes to an hour late. I'm like, and by that time, everybody's just sweating. There's no glistening, everybody's just sweating. Mhm. It was hot, hot, hot. But yeah, Deputy Laura, I hope you told her judge is not ordering you to become a chef. You can continue to code. Bianca, did you understand her to say coding?
No, I didn't hear the coding, I just heard that you said she was going to color.
I know she was like, "Cool." And then she goes downstairs and she's like,
It's you again.
culinary arts.
I'm telling you, I go back to WKRP in Cincinnati, as God is my witness. Vashawn, I thought she said culinary arts.
She changed her whole career plan.
But she is back in coding.
Amigas?
Oh, but Cornelius, did you join the celebration of the Florida Panthers?
Well, the initial one I did, but the official one, I was going to.
Ah. See, I thought you would have been at the parade in the rain.
With, not often, not ever. Somebody said they were gonna make history, because it was they have 3 sets.
Mhm.
Then the other team, Montreal, I think, won 3 games. So we're gonna make history either way. If we won, we make history. If we lose, we make history.
All right, don't let the Florida Panthers become the Buffalo Bills. You remember how many times the Buffalo Bills went to the Super Bowl
They went 4 times.
and lost? Can you imagine?
You know what? Not only did they go 4 times, they went 4 times on the road.
Yes.
4 times on the road.
You know what? The only thing that stopped them from being a dynasty is they lost 4 times in a row.
Yeah, they lost 4 times.
You
know when they fired
my client's incompetent.
Against the Giants.
Yeah. Okay, can I just tell you? Field goal kickers, I know, and I will be on the sideline. You know how they just try to get you in line to make the field goal? No, let's try to get in the end zone so it's not on me. That's what I'm asking you to do. All right, Joseph Grosso.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good
Your Honor,
morning.
this case is set for trial next Monday morning. I just wanted to bring it to the court's attention. My client is still incompetent to stand trial.
Okay,
We've been working with Judge Carruthers for an ACOG. They've just gone to DID. We're waiting on a hearing for Carruthers to bless all of everything. He's gonna likely be incompetent and be placed in a group home, but just wanted to make sure that.
all right. So when, do you know when your hearing is for Judge Carruthers?
As of late last week, they were scheduling it, Judge. I don't have that date yet, but maybe we bump it to late August.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a late August date for Joseph Grosso? Yes, it's 2023. 8646. Yes,
It might
it's
have been
currently
set-
set on July 8th.
You said late July?
Yes, no, late August.
There was a setting that looked like on 8/29, but.
I can do August 29th.
That's fine.
All right, All right, so we'll come back on August 29th, and your client is in custody?
No, he's not, Judge. He's on bond on GPS monitor, but he's cooperating. I'm in touch with him.
All right, if you'll just let him know the new date.
I will. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Judge.
Norma, on this one, he's incompetent.
So just leave it as a guessing date?
Yes, because they have a court date in Judge Carruthers Court.
We need someone? You need him?
Well, I'm about
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Oh, they're in.
Hello. Hi. Sure. Oh, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Any plans for the fourth?
Yes, I'm going to be with my mom.
Good for you.
I always tell people coming back after holiday is really nobody wants to come back after a holiday. So I'm giving the staff and everybody off to spend time with their family. So we're gonna be here July 1st and July 2nd. Then I'll give them time to go spend with their family. And of
Okay.
course, I'll still be available though.
This is no offense to you, but nobody really wants to come back after 3 months.
Nobody wants to come back. No.
Period.
Well, we all thought we would be retired and we're not. So we're like,
Well, I'm working on it very hard. I've been dealing with Ally Jackson, and we have an agreement on the case. Ally's an impact. Would you like me to go to impact, or would you like Ally to go?
oh, you can go to Impact, and if y'all, do the paperwork or whatever your agreement is, and then you can come up here and I'll take the plea.
Okay, well, it's not a plea, Judge. It's just an agreement on the conditions of bond.
Ah, oh, no, well, she'll have to come up here for me to hear it.
Okay,
And you have to have them pull the file.
okay. I'll start. I don't know if you have a file, Judge.
Is it a night mag?
It's whatever it is now. I don't know what they call
Okay,
it.
I don't know what the case is. You have to check with Norma.
Yeah, it's the new system. I don't know what it is. Does that make sense? Like,
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
I'm sure it's, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll talk to her and see whatever I can get you.
All right, sure. But is your client here? Okay. Yes.
Yes. I don't, but you can get a software. Yeah. I mean, let's. Okay, yeah, so I don't have a copy of it here. It would not have been indicted unless you had that. You got it. Yes, you gotta have the right. So, yeah, so. I don't have the file in front of you, but I can call it down. And give you an offer. Your client's a fugitive, so. That's what it says on here.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll check. We'll see if it works. All right, and also, can you see if maybe in the afternoon, the other guy can come down and see what's happening with our Odyssey and why he can't sign anything? All right, thank you.
When you get a minute.
And Jennifer, since they are getting rid of all the files, today I'm gonna start writing, because I know y'all are scanning docket sheets in, but today I'm gonna start writing things in on the system. If it lets me.
The other thing.
Jose Maria Castañeda. Joaquin Mendez.
I do, please. Mr. Marie. Diaz.
Cornelius, your client Christian Dunbar, he's by Zoom.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning. Adriana Herrera. Oh, Bashan, I forgot to tell you, and this is something, you know, I don't interfere. I always stay in my lane, but I think maybe your salary needs to be increased. So what ended up happening is, do you know how many people it took to replace you for our docket? And you know, I thought something was wrong because one probation officer came down. Hi. And then the next thing I know, there are 4 probation officers in this court trying to do your job. Bianca, she needs a raise.
I'll let the chief know. It was actually 5 judges.
Oh, I'm sorry, it was 5. There was one who came in that I didn't see, but they were in the box going over conditions with people. 5 people. Yes. And it was like, I don't know, they were tag teaming. Hey, you're in. It was just- And Bashan, I even did this for them where I was like, you know what? I'm gonna call a case out of order so they can catch up. Didn't work. So do you need me to sign a letter saying that there were 5 people?
Exactly.
I'm gonna send an email.
He's on. So it's kind of.
You thought you.
They don't, this office for
All right, and Norma, I have nothing in my queue.
Nothing.
I haven't seen it.
I will.
Sure. No problem.
You try with this. What's going on with your list? Are you ready to approach? Are you ready to approach?
No, I just need to ask you about a client. I'm gonna make 3 indictments. I'm gonna check with you.
It's an art.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
I heard that. Yes.
So what on?
You're to normal, you hit. I got 2. One is on Dunbar
Sit down, please, ma'am.
and one is on Johnson.
Are you ready?
Okay. Oh, nice. I'm supposed to go through. Yes, ma'am. Oh, Dennis. DJ.
Yeah, look at you bringing out the Celtics.
Yeah.
You know, he's passed.
You can, she has to seat yourself.
Yeah.
And I started to cry.
Well, you know, he
9-4,
He-
1-6-1.
he was in the
He
movie,
has 2 possession cases.
Hoosiers.
Just wanna make sure
Called, I
that-
think, and they were playing some team.
Mhm.
One of the point guards was Dennis Johnson, you know.
Okay, now I need to look that up to see, because I've watched Hoosiers, but it's been a while since I've seen Hoosiers.
Yeah, you see, no, it's one of those movies like Rocky, you know, those fiction
Mhm.
where you
Are
have,
they set for today?
you know, Rocky Balboa beating couple lanes, which in reality.
He would have lost.
Yeah.
You're
So-
still on that.
So Hoosiers,
6-9.
that would never happen.
6-1.
Okay, yeah, I don't.
When you go back, when they're playing in the, I think the semifinals.
Mhm.
They call out the name, it's just called, I think the name is called out is Dennis Johnson.
Oh,
Okay.
So when you go back and look at,
Thank you.
okay, I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah.
All right, Dennis Johnson, come forward. Oh, thank you for dressing appropriately for
Yes,
court.
ma'am.
All right, what happened to the neck?
I don't know. I don't even know. It's like a little pimple was there. I gotta go to like get it cut or something. No, like an ingrown hair. I think.
Did you go to the doctor?
I haven't met yet.
All right, people, here's the thing. This is what I know. I know I'm not a medical doctor, but what I know is things have changed now. You can't just be doing things on your own at the house.
home remedies.
Yeah, you can't do some of the home remedies. You can't do it now because people putting hormones in everything we eat. That's just a side note.
Yeah.
You
And that's
better,
what I tried. A home remedy. I tried to cut it. It was like a little pimple, so I tried to cut it myself, and
what did you cut it with?
like a little razor.
Oh my gosh, I hope you cleaned that razor.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I-
put some peroxide and stuff on it.
Okay, I'm not a doctor, but you should probably
All right.
go
see a
to
doctor.
Yeah.
see a doctor about that because germs get in it. You know, I will tell you one thing. I'm not a doctor, but Kenise, you know what I do know? You can't survive without your neck. They're not doing neck implants.
Yeah, no.
Once the neck goes,
Everything.
it's gone.
I'm glad you told me. I'm gonna go ASAP.
Yeah, you need to go.
Okay.
You should. All right, so what are we doing on this case, Mr. Cox?
We got an offer today, Judge.
Okay,
And we just need a setting, I need to confer with my client on it.
all right.
Do some things and.
How much time do you want?
30 days, if I can get it.
All right, this is,
But that's not,
this is a new case. 45 is pushing it.
okay.
All right,
30.
Ms. Ferguson, on Dennis Johnson, if I could have a plea deadline date for 30 days, please. Oh, yeah, you need to go quick, fast, and hurry to that. All right, you seem a little unsteady. What's going on?
Nothing, man. I'm good. I'm good now.
Okay.
Under the circumstances, you got a big bandage on your neck.
Oh, yeah, you need to go get that checked out.
I can do July 30th.
All right, we'll come back on July 30th.
Boy,
All right,
that's
once you sign the
sufficient
reset
heritage.
form, you're excused to go to the Well Med Center or wherever people go.
Okay. All right.
Guys, tell them that's dangerous.
Thank you, man. I
All right.
appreciate it.
Well, you know, that's like in the Western movies you see where somebody gets a gunshot wound and they just pour booze on the knife or either burn it in the campfire and the person passes out. I mean, is that what we're doing now? He needs to, gotta take care of that.
I have a, Dunbar, he's on the Zoom.
So, yeah. All right, Mr. Dunbar, if you'll show your video, please. All right, Mr. Dunbar, thank you for dressing appropriately.
Is that a Rembrandt in this?
No, that's the Lord's Supper behind him. And he has an attorney sitting on his desk. That's awesome. All right, Mr. Dunbar, if you'll unmute, please.
No.
All right, I think that's by Michael,
Angelo.
Michael D'Angelo, Michael,
Who did the,
yes.
Leonardo.
No, you're right, it's Leonardo da Vinci who did the
Sistine
Chapel, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, if you see
That may
the-
be an original.
All right, then, if that's an original, then
Can't
your
get a
client may
photo.
have picked up another case. Because that's not supposed to be behind him. Uh,
It looks as big as the original.
Mr. Dunbar, we know that's not the original Lord's Supper. You're good.
Maybe those two originals.
Yeah. But no, you know, when I went to the Sistine Chapel, that took a lot of work.
I said that because I know you went there.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
There you go. You know,
I mean, he was doing everything.
he had to do it on his back.
Yes, yeah.
But then,
You know, there was a group of 4 of them, extremely poor, but everybody was hiring them out to do different things, like sculpt, paint, do buildings, do everything. All right, so what's happening on this case? Did you receive an offer?
oh, yes, ma'am. We got
Okay.
an offer today. So we can have a setting. I'll discuss the offer with my client and, quite sure we'll be able to resolve it.
All right, so we'll come back on July 30th. And Mr. Dunbar, are you in Bear County?
No, ma'am. I'm in Harris County, Houston, Texas.
All right, so what we'll do, if there's going to be an agreement or not an agreement, he can still appear by Zoom.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I know Houston, that drive, nobody's doing anything with the traffic.
Okay.
All right, so we will see you back on July 30th, and it'll be by Zoom, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, don't do any self-surgery. All right, have a
Thank
good
you,
one.
Judge.
You too.
Can you see if you can email that person? So we can get those.
All right, Francisco Sotelo Baez.
Yeah, he's in the box.
All right, come down. All right, so where are we?
Your Honor, obviously, family violence is in trial and impact this morning. I was not able to confer. However, we did have an offer. I'm trying to negotiate with them to confer more on the case. There's some Padilla issues as well in this matter, Judge.
There's
so
some
I'm-
what?
Padilla issues.
All
So
right,
I'm
so,
waiting on consultation there as well, but if we could get another month, this is likely going to be resolved.
so where are we on the Padilla issues? Because I saw that
Judge, I have an informal telephone conference with Mr. Tullis and the MAC. I just need a formal writing, but I also need a chance to compare my notes from Mr. Tullis with the prosecutors to see if we can fine tune an appropriate plea bargain.
all right, Norma,
Yes, ma'am.
on this one, can you put it for July 30th for plea deadline date?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do you have any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
All right, you too.
We'll be in-
Like right in front of your car.
Thank you. At least it's a short week.
I don't know why I asked you, so. Sorry. Thank you.
Oh, it's too late. Catherine Aguilar. All right, is she in prison or not in prison?
I'm gonna say it's Chihuahua, Judge, because I don't know. Last week, we contacted TDC because the sheriff's office and said that she'd been transferred.
And if you recall, Judge, we had a couple of your interns help with that. They didn't have her there at the time.
All right,
I call-
everyone, please whisper.
I called later in the week. I called back to the sheriff's office to see if they can give me any further details. And I was told that she was transferred to ISF, East ISF.
All
I
right,
called East ISF and they didn't have a record of her. So I've contacted parole.
all right. Who sent her allegedly to ISF?
Well, I think it was part of her parole violation, Judge. Whatever she was supposed to do for parole.
Okay,
But parole doesn't even have a record of it, Judge. So that, so I don't know where else to call, Judge.
oh, well, we're gonna find out where she is today. Ms. Abrams,
Yes, Judge.
is there any way, maybe they didn't want to tell you because sometimes they don't tell people if somebody's there at ISF. Is there any way you can check to see if someone is in ISF?
Yes, Judge. I just needed say her thoughts on work.
Cost number is 2024 CR 1212.
And that's East ISF is what I was told.
All right, he's saying East ISF.
Just give me a couple of moments.
All right, thank you. So we'll find out where she is.
Okay, thanks.
Esther San Miguel.
Just let me go.
Morning.
Morning.
Again,
So you survived the heat.
I did.
All the way to the front where the arrow's at.
Because where I am, I can't really do night events.
Oh, still.
Yes, still. So, yeah. All right. Good morning. Thank you so much for dressing appropriately for court. All right. So where are we on this case with discovery?
The state just conveyed an offer to me. I believe I have all discovery. I'm asking the court for another reset so she may confer with the immigration lawyer.
Okay. All right. Is she gonna hire an immigration attorney or does she need one?
She's been looking to hire one.
Okay. Are you appointed?
Correct.
All right. So Ms. Ferguson,
Yes.
even though she's looking for an immigration attorney, I don't want us to hold up because we're waiting for immigration. If you could see if Mac can provide her with immigration, and is language an issue?
She's a Spanish speaker. She understands some English.
All right. So, and next time we're gonna need an interpreter. And of course, you speak Spanish, correct?
Correct.
Right. Could you ask her if there's anything else she needs from the court?
I don't know if it's anything like what 30. No, everything's okay.
Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson, if you reset this for the first week in August to see where we are with immigration.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we'll be back August 6th, and Ms. Ferguson, if you can put on the docket sheet that she'll need to have an interpreter present.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you, Jim.
All right, you're welcome.
Tú toma asiento y te le digo el papel, por favor.
Oh, and Mr. Arguelles,
Yes.
if you'll reach out to the MAC as well.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Okay, perfect. I get it. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I'll take it anyway. That's good. Getting beat down. I'll let you Yes. I'm sorry. To Monday, Monday, no
Yeah.
excuses.
Yeah, because that case is.
The first one on the docket. How much the 83 case, yeah?
All right, David Castro.
Andrew Del Puerto. I'll spell it later. Okay.
All right, so this motion says that he's in the custody of the sheriff's office.
Well, he was, Judge.
All right, so,
He's released.
so what are we here for? Because it's not in the motion.
Judge, it's just changing partial GPS to tracking.
All right, court is calling CM 120070. Excuse me, if y'all will move towards the end. State of Texas versus David Jared Castro. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Ally Jackson.
for the defense?
Andrew Del Puerto for Mr. Castro.
And are you Mr. Castro?
Yeah.
All right, you're gonna need to keep your voice up so I can hear. So, defense, you have a motion, and what is your motion?
Just to change partial GPS to tracking, Your Honor.
All right, and state, any objection?
No, Your Honor, we discussed it. This is mostly due. He was given partial originally for work, but he has to go to Dallas for work, and this is in very early stages. We do not, I only received the report this morning actually from defense counsel. That's how little the state has, so we're unopposed at this time, Your Honor.
All right, so you say unopposed at this time, but I need,
No, we're unopposed. Judge.
okay. All right, and is there a no contact with the complainant?
Yes, Judge. And we'll still have that enforced, yes.
All right, and do you all have any type of geolocation that he's not to be in?
Yeah, we can have it near her residence, Your Honor.
All right, if you all want to put that in the motion, if you all have, either side has no objections, then you write that in the motion. So it's an agreed order for tracking only, and there's going to be a geolocation, and you're not allowed to be in that location. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you go in that, inside that location, what is going to happen is I'm going to receive a report from pretrial services, and a warrant could be issued for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, you all need to make sure that he knows which area he's not to be in.
Yes, Your Honor, of course.
And it's also going to include a no contact, of course, with the complainant. So if you're at a location and the complainant appears, you'll need to leave. Do you understand? All right, is there anything else?
No, Your Honor. Enjoy time with your mama, Judge.
Oh, I will. Thank you so much.
That was fine.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. But when
All right.
Judge, may I borrow that so I can get a copy?
Oh, sure. Just give me a moment.
Yes, Judge.
You have any docket today? Let's hold it.
I'm gonna write the correct address there.
Oh, there it is. It was indicted in late May, about a week ago.
That's the third. It's county nine. You like that, you need it? No, he's a prosecutor. We're waiting for Mr. Bexar.
Okay. Is he contacting you when he does that? There isn't. Oh, I can try to play him. Country place. I say that, I mean, I'm not in the same division. He is in trial, but elder branch and cybercrime, but it's the same overall division.
And he would still need to post the GG.
Okay.
All right, does somebody come forward on Jose Maria Castaneda? Yes.
This is a old case 1983. Back then it was a bond forfeiture and I paid the fee itself on the bond forfeiture. So I don't know what's it, I don't know, I don't think he's in jail.
All right. Yes, and I don't know, so is this it appears that this was a case that was indicted in 1983.
Right.
And that is still on this docket some kind of way. I wasn't even in Texas in 1983.
Uh,
Yes. Enjoying my best life before I started adulting, where my bills became my own and nobody else's.
Yeah, but it was a bond forfeiture and I paid the bond forfeiture on it, so
Okay,
I don't know.
all righty. State, we have a case from 1983.
Yes.
So, and yes. They are not present. So, counsel, you're still listed as hired.
I'm gonna file a notice of to withdraw because I haven't seen him since he.
All right, and I don't have your notice. Let me see.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see what the 1983 notices look like.
Well, I can tell you the true bill of indictment is typed. All right, so the state will need to, I guess, do some investigation to see if they have the complainant.
Okay.
And then what I'll do is I'll reset it so that you can perhaps get a chance to see if you can find your client. And then if you wish to withdraw, the court will hear that.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, let me just check something. Let me see.
Yeah.
Because maybe, you think maybe they're in custody somewhere?
I don't think so, Judge.
All right, so the state will have to get with their investigator to see if where this person is, and then I guess people will file appropriate motions based upon this is a 1983 case. Let me see. All right. So what we'll do is I'll reset this, and then if anyone wants to file motions, the court will hear those motions. And we'll see if, I think there's a warrant still for his arrest.
Right.
Yes, so there's still a warrant for his arrest. So we'll recall it at the end of July to see where we are.
Hey, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Norma, if we're, yes, recall this for July 30th. Thank you.
Albert,
I mean, we'll allow a case to be on the docket since 1983. Hi. Oh, they should have the paper.
Thank you. I'll be right back. Yes, ma'am.
All right, how's it going? Well, let's see. Yes, but there are jury trials in impact court if you want to go there. It's on the second floor and it's family violence. That's why they're not up here. So they should be in a jury trial on a case. Mhm. Yes. Yes. All right, awesome.
Somebody get hold, trying to get hold of you. Except you all are here through this. Mr. Moore.
Yeah. I couldn't get it back.
Lopez. You want to see?
Good morning. Judge Board.
Good morning. Hi, good morning.
Very good to see you.
You too.
If you stay. Managing partner stood by my recreation. I see he's more and more. He could see it even come in. No, that's that. Too far away from small. We do it.
The case that was supposed to be called today, it wasn't, so. Okay, so they're getting the call. I'm gonna go 144 if they're getting the call.
You know, most of the taxes. Because she's forced again, Jason's forced. So we got something pulling away from it. But they're just not aligned. When that- Sometimes. So.
Yes. Oh, okay, that's gonna be awesome. Oh, yeah, and then someone else should be getting in contact with you with regards to being a clerk. Yeah, you're welcome.
I guess not working with the above.
Okay, that is good.
You can do it, I don't like, because 3 minutes of the way back.
Hold the door. It wasn't cash.
Okay.
I'm talking to the boss guy. Oh, okay, thank you so much. No. So you really need to do the under there? Yeah. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Cash fine.
It was a cash.
No way to deep.
Somebody was. One, and it was when it was maturing. And it's like, like this guy knows he's up to it. So then somebody went from dogs to stuff.
You're right.
So.
Oh, yes.
I'm ready on. And motion to modify one. More rhetorical question. E-files.
All right, Joshua Patia. All right, hello.
Hi, Judge. Good
Hi.
morning.
What's happening with this case?
So, Judge, we're here for status. I've been conferring with the state. This was a case where I had multiple, just multiple amounts of information to go through. Are we on YouTube?
Yes.
For reasons that I would prefer not to have out publicly, if I could just tell you.
Cases be consolidated.
Try them all at the same time? At this point, no, Judge. Yeah, I don't believe you would be opposed to it. I mean, it just might be a rather lengthy trial.
I think they're all probably likely to come in as extraneous regardless. So I think that it's definitely to his benefit to consolidate them.
All right, then what we'll do is we're going to come back on July 25th. That's going to be the plea deadline date. The court is not going to extend any plea deadline dates any further than that. I realized that there were issues with this case in the beginning with him receiving mental health care. But this case has been on the docket for many years. So we're going to come back on the 25th, and on the 25th, state if there's no objections to consolidation, it will be consolidated, and then there will be a quick turnaround for a jury trial.
That's good.
Thank
All right,
you,
is there
Judge.
anything else?
No, Your Honor, no.
All right, so before parties leave, are you ready to sign the acknowledgement of discovery?
Yes, I am. I believe I've gotten everything that they
All right.
have.
Thank you.
I can't imagine that I haven't.
All righty. So I tell you what, you all on the July 25th have the acknowledgements of discovery ready to be signed.
All right, Judge. Thank
All
you.
right. You're welcome. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Do you have any questions?
Oh, man.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
Don't make you put that on the 25th. And Norma, any cases from impact court that don't work out or end up in trial, have them come back on July 8th. Deputy Laura, mentally, I'm trying not to jinx us.
Nope.
All right, Tyler Ashball. Good morning. All right, court is calling 2023 CR 10004 State versus Tyler Ashball. Can our parties announce for the record for the state? Defense,
Nathaniel Navy for Mr. Ashbaugh.
and are you Mr. Ashball?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, defense has filed a motion to amend conditions of bond. State, have you had a chance to review that?
I spoke with defense counsel about it.
All right, state, do you have any objections? All right, defense, you may proceed.
Yes, Judge. So essentially, we would just be asking for two things. Number one is to amend Mr. Ashbaugh's current conditions from GPS full house arrest to GPS partial to allow him to work. And just a little bit of background behind that, Judge. We understand that the allegation is serious. However, Mr. Ashbaugh has been on GPS full house arrest for 2 years at this point. The case was pending on intake for quite a while. He has had no recorded violations of his GPS monitoring device. With Mr. Ashbaugh being on full GPS house arrest, he's had to live with his father to help support him. His father is older, in his 70s. He lives there with his wife and their daughter as well. This has placed not only a immense financial burden on Tyler and his wife, as they've had to move in with his father because Tyler can't work, but also on Tyler's father, who is now in his 70s, having to work extra and stress more about their finances. Tyler would like to have the ability to set up an interview and hopefully get hired somewhere and work to help contribute for his family, his children, his legal expenses, just to ease the burden not only on himself, but on his family as well, Judge. And as I've come in front of you before on another time on this case, I said, any little allowance you've given Tyler to do something, he's never abused the court's trust in this case since it's been pending on bond. And I think that will continue. He obviously takes this case very seriously. He takes his pretrial conditions of bond very seriously, as are evidence that he has had no violations since he's been on this monitor. The second thing that we would be asking for is the ability to go to, I forget the name of the hospital. What was that? Stone Oak Methodist Hospital, when his wife is due. She's due at the end of this month, but from talking to them, it may be sooner. Obviously, and I maybe seek the court's guidance as well with how to word this on GPS if you were to consider it and grant it, Judge. But for a one-time, and I don't know if it's to say tracking or one-time ability to go to the hospital, because it's going to be hard to schedule this. I think, just knowing from my experience, if I tried to schedule it, I think he would miss it. Or if he tried to schedule it, I think he would probably miss the birth. So just a one-time ability to go to this hospital, stay there until she's discharged, and then come home whenever that is. Obviously, pretrial services would have the address of the hospital ahead of time. He could even give them notice as he's about to go. But I think if he had to try to get permission and schedule it, he may miss it. But maybe if there was some way to say, it's either a one-time tracking ability where he's approved to go to this hospital at an unscheduled time for the birth and come home, go nowhere else but the hospital. That's what I would be seeking as well, Judge. And I know you've asked this before, so I've talked to him and his wife. They have had one other kid together. She said he was helpful. He didn't pass out. He wasn't
Okay,
just somebody who was actually a burden on her, but he did help. So she would like him there, Judge, if it's possible.
All right, so let's start with first. State, do you have any objections to him being allowed to attend the birth of his child at Stone Oak Methodist Hospital and to remain until discharge of wife and child?
No, Judge, just as long as it's pretrial and abides by the GPS.
All right, so that will be granted. Now, the next thing, with a request for him to be able to work while on GPS.
Judge, at this time, due to the allegations against the defendant, we're opposed to any other type of GPS other than full house arrest, yeah.
Okay. All right. This is what the court will allow him to have employment. I don't know the nature of the alleged facts of the offense other than what I see that he's been charged with. So you will be allowed to, once you're employed, to work. But I know now that a lot of employment, the way you get interviews is online. Am I correct in that assumption?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Yes, I think the one that he's attempting to interview with, they do want you to come in person, right? It's with Kia Worldcar Mazda for a phone representative. They basically said, come in
All
9.
right, so here's the thing. If he is going to be working at a car dealership, I'm not going to allow him to be working at a dealership where he's driving around. So what
Understood.
would he be doing if he were to be hired? Yes.
Phone
Okay.
representative, ma'am.
All right, could you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Tyler Ashbaugh.
All right, if you're hired, what is your position? What are your duties?
I'm not too sure necessarily, but it's a phone representative. I'm guessing I'll be taking phone calls about probably price inquiries and such things.
All right, and so will you be working from home or working at the dealership?
At the dealership, hopefully.
All right, so then what I'll do is I'll allow him to go to the interview. And when is this interview?
He told me just to come in from any time from 9 to 7, Monday through Saturday, and ask for Ed,
And you said Monday through Saturday?
Monday through Saturday.
All right, so I'm gonna allow him to go to the interview. And you will need to schedule a time with them. And that time needs to be, state, I know you're not in agreement, but what hours? Because I'm not gonna allow him to set his hour at 7 PM. So it's gonna have to be in the morning time. And what hours?
9 to 11.
All right, so he can set his appointment anywhere from 9 to 11. And I'll allow you 30 minutes beforehand to arrive. And then 30 minutes to return. Is that enough time?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Judge.
All right, and you will need to let GPS know. Are you gonna be there at 9, 10, or 11? Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and then once he is employed, my mom always says, once you have the interview, usually they're gonna hire you. So we'll come back if he is employed. And then counsel, if you just come in, if he ends up receiving the job and his duties are as he's telling me, I'll allow it.
Okay.
So, and I'm sorry, 9 to 11 AM, you're gonna have to get that appointment either Monday through Thursday, not Friday and Saturday. If there's some issue where they can only do it on a Saturday or only do it on a Friday, you need to come back and let the court know that's the plan.
Yes, Judge.
All right, is there anything else?
Just one other thing, Judge, because I know it's a possibility that he does the interview, they do the background check, they see that he's charged with this, and then they say no.
Mhm.
If there are other opportunities for job interviews, but this is the one that's immediate, if he has any other possible interviews, do we need to come in again, or is he okay to schedule interviews, but just tell his pretrial services officer? How would the court like us to do that?
Well, to make it easier on everybody, so people won't have to come down, counsel, if you want to include an email, include Mr. Garhan in that email, your client in that email, and include me, of course.
Of course, Judge.
And you will put down where he is seeking to have an interview. And in each of those emails, I'm gonna need to know what his proposed duties are if he's hired. Because there are just some things that I'm not gonna allow him to do.
Of course, Judge. Understood.
All right, is there anything else?
Not at this time, Judge.
All right, and is everyone, I'm sorry, does everyone approve of the court's plan as far as if there are different interviews that can be asked through email?
Yes, absolutely, Judge.
Not opposed, Your Honor.
All right, okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Judge. May we be
Welcome.
excused?
Yes.
Thank you.
Some yes, some no, I forget the different words. I don't. Well, no, I just, some don't require it. Where at? I'll go to the back. Okay. Judges, yes. Yes, okay. We're ready on that.
Cases that are not going right now, they file, you're starting another trial?
Just give me a moment. Let me do this first and then I'll address that. All right, so anyone who was downstairs, just hand me oh, we don't have the file, do we? All right, hi, hi. Is your client here?
He's in custody, Honor.
Ah, okay, what is your client's name?
Toledo Campos, first name Arturo.
All right, did they give you all a recall?
No, they mentioned to come up here and see what to do next.
All right, so do you know which case they're proceeding on downstairs?
It sounded like a possible aggravated assault. I don't know which number.
Vinny.
Benny? All right,
Yes, we were the last on the list, Your Honor.
okay, you're last on the list.
There's just-
Okay,
think there was
because I was
8.
seeing if there's gonna be a recall or not. All right, Miss Ferguson, on this one, we need to schedule another jury trial date, but let's do this. Let me look at my calendar. Let's bring it back. Are you all available to come back on the 8th? That won't be your jury trial date, but that will be a date when family violence will be here and we'll give you a new jury trial date.
Monday.
I am scheduled to be in Comal County that day, Your Honor.
All right, July 9th.
No, I apologize. We have
No
federal
problem.
court.
11th.
Yes.
All right, so we'll come back. Norma, reschedule this for July 11th for them to obtain a new jury trial date.
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Glenn did a great job.
I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. All right, who's here on Esther Diaz?
I am, Your Honor.
Oh, you all ready to proceed?
We are, Your Honor.
Could I have a file stamp for probation, please?
Stand right here.
Thank you. All right, court is calling 2023 CR 8835, State of Texas versus Esther Diaz. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Joseph Appelt.
And are you Esther Diaz?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, did you review the documents entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision and First Amendment Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you the same Esther Diaz who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2023 CR 8835 for the offense of harassment of a public servant on February 15, 2024 for a period of 3 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, stayed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Which allegation are you proceeding on?
Violation condition on or about the 28th day of February 2024 in Bear County, Texas. The defendant, Mr. Marie Oriana Diaz, committed the office of tampering with electronic monitoring device.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
All right. Are you proceeding on any other allegations?
We haven't been the remaining allegation.
All right, any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Agreement in this is that we both believe that Ms. Oriana Diaz should have some sort of treatment. We disagree about what that treatment is.
Yes, Your Honor. In other words, the agreement would be to continue her on her deferred alternate amendment conditions for some form of substance abuse treatment. But as Mr. Edelman has indicated, we don't agree on what type of treatment that should be and exactly where. We would leave that to the court, and I would like to address the court with respect to that, Your Honor.
All right, so let's address the tampering with the electronic monitoring device, and then we can address if the court is going to continue Ms. Diaz or not.
Yes, Your Honor. At the time that occurred, at the time that Ms. Diaz had the device on, she was in a, shall we say, very negative relationship with a gentleman who is the father of her now 2-month-old baby. CPS subsequently had gotten involved dealing with that situation, as well as her other 5 children. One of her children had been involved in drugs, and it has to do with, I'll give you his name, it's Domingo Herrera, who was a negative influence on the other children as well as Ms. Diaz. She has since gotten away from him. She cut the monitor off because she was dealing with the rather exigent circumstances with her oldest child, who is 16 years old. That child is now in the juvenile system because of some of her drug issues and other issues that were going on. That situation is being resolved. There is a CPS case which is open with Ms. Diaz, which she was following and being involved in with their services prior to coming to court, being in custody now for this the violation that she's pled true to. Some of the services they were recommending had to deal with relationship counseling, dealing with anger management counseling, as well as substance abuse counseling. With respect to that, she does have 6 children. The 16-year-old, actually, she's not the oldest. The 17-year-old is with her mother, which is the child's grandmother. The 16-year-old is in the juvenile system, being taken care of that way. 3 of the children are with her ex-husband, and then the young 2-month-old child is in foster care right now. Her hope is to try to reunite with the 2-month-old and the other children. It's my understanding, as reported by Ms. Diaz, that CPS, that case is rolling forward, and there's some sort of a proceeding in October of this year that she's trying to meet all the requirements for their purposes. While she has been in custody, which is 110 days, Your Honor, she has completed an anger management class. She has 2 more classes to go to complete her healthy relationships class, and she's been in substance abuse counseling as well. 2 more classes, and she'll get a certificate of completion for that class too. She informs me that Mr. Herrera, she doesn't know where he is, no contact with him, doesn't want anything to do with him. It's her information through CPS that he initially began, but he has not cooperated with CPS. He hasn't done anything. And so their process, quite possibly, I haven't seen the pleadings, but knowing how they work, they may be trying to terminate his parental rights as a part of their CPS program. We're not quite sure. However, from her perspective, she doesn't want anything to do with the man at all because of the problems that he has caused her and her children.
All right, State, you're requesting what type of treatment?
Safety, Your Honor.
All right. So I have a few questions. You want to raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Esther Marie Oriana Diaz.
All right, and defense, if ever you want to jump in, feel free to jump in. All right, so what are the ages of your children?
17, 16, 14, 12, 5, and 2 months.
All right, so the 2-month-old is in foster care
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
and the 5-year-old is with your ex?
Yes.
And that is not Mr. Herrera.
No,
And the 12-year-old is
my ex-husband as
14?
as well.
And the 16-year-old
She's in juvie.
and the 17-year-old with the grandmother.
Yes.
All right, so the 16-year-old, why is the 16-year-old in juvenile custody?
She kept running. My mom was having problems with her.
Okay,
So
so she was with your grandmother.
yes,
All right. Oh, I don't want to go into great detail. I'm just trying to figure things out.
yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
So now here's my question in defense. If you want to jump in, feel free to jump in. I don't understand how cutting off the monitor has anything to do with anything. I mean, it's not as though Mr. Herrera was monitoring her. It's not like if she's on GPS, he's monitoring her so he knows where she is. It's probation that was monitoring her.
It had to
Yes.
do with,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
it had to do with the fact that she was previously ordered to complete Alpha Home. And she couldn't do that with the monitor on. And that delves into, and it is intertwined with Mr. Herrera and the relationship that she had with him. And so she did not complete Alpha Home. She in essence left Alpha Home after 1 week.
Okay, so she was in Alpha Home on GPS
Yes, Your Honor.
and she cut the GPS monitor off.
That's, yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Sorry to cut. It wasn't necessarily that way. He misunderstood. What I meant was my daughter was giving my mom problems. It wasn't necessary because my ex-boyfriend. It was because my daughter, nobody can handle them. And they only listen when I'm there. And so I had to cut my monitor to go get my daughter.
No, you didn't have to cut your monitor off. You could have called probation and said,
I called them, my mom called them, they didn't want to do nothing. They didn't, my son's probation officer is the same probation officer for my daughter. They didn't even go look for her. Little did they know my son was even doing other things. I had to be the one keep calling and calling and they weren't doing their job. Secondly, my daughter was going to the Westway apartments where there's a bridge, where there's a lot of homeless people.
all right, so here's the thing. I understand what you're saying about probation not doing their job, but honestly, you were not doing your job as a parent because that's why probation is in their life. And the government, honestly, even when people are juveniles, it's really not the probation's officer job to raise your children. That's your job. And the fact that your child ran away still doesn't excuse your thinking, which is, I'm going to cut off my monitor because my child ran away and my child will only listen to me. If your child will only listen to you, why are your children living with the grandmother instead of you?
Exactly. I was just trying to take my daughter back to my mom's and let her, turn herself in, do it the right way, so I can turn myself in, so I can be at peace and know that she's okay. While I'm doing my, doing what I have to do as a parent.
Well, let me just tell everybody, one, I don't even think she should be continued on probation. I think she should be revoked. But what I can tell you is, I am not going to do the treatment that you want. It's going to be safety.
Okay, it's fine.
So, well, no, you need to listen.
Yes,
So even if I consider continuing you, it's going to be safety. So everything else is off the table. Any questions?
Not from the state, Your Honor.
Any questions?
From the defense, Your Honor.
All right, probation, what are you requesting?
Judge. Felony drug court, she was initially accepted into felony drug court and then the monitor issue happened. So then they rejected the case, it came back over. We did refer her to felony drug court. And at that point, the ABA down there opposed the reentry. I didn't get any further information on why they opposed, it was just ABA opposed. We did also do a TAP evaluation while she's been in custody, and the TAP recommended for safety. I would ask that she be given credit for the anger management course that she's taken while she's been in custody. And defer to the court on in regards to treatment.
Okay. So probation wants to continue her?
Yes.
All right, this is what the court is gonna do. I'll deny the motion. Alternate amend conditions. To extend for 2 years. We can do a referral back to felony drug court. And if not accepted, then safety.
Judge, I would like to point out that referral was just back to as a whole.
All right.
If I'm saying the ADA opposed it, and that's why she wasn't granted, or she wasn't accepted to drug court. Otherwise, she met the requirements for it.
Who's the ADA?
It doesn't even give you that information. Judge, it does say that she met the criteria. That's all I have.
And I have counseled Ms. Diaz on how stringent and how difficult drug court is to complete. And she has informed me that she is ready, willing, and able to do whatever she needs to do.
All right, just one moment. All right, so here's my other question. Has anyone looked into if she has a CPS case, CPS has a treatment court there as well. Has anyone checked to see if they will accept her?
I have not, Your Honor.
All right. Yes,
I have a outpatient visit with the CPS worker on the 3rd. And she was asking, well, telling me that if they didn't have classes for me here, that they would provide the classes for me there.
all right. So what's gonna end? I can tell everybody what's gonna end up happening, right? And y'all tell me if you all want to continue down this road of sending her to safety. In CPS cases, you only have a year. Counsel, as you know, to get your act together for them to consider placing your children with you. Sometimes they will extend it, maybe extend it for 3 months. Most I've seen is 6 months, and that's it. So if you're not accepted into felony drug court, it's going to be very difficult for you when you're sent to safety. So I'm going to ask that she be re-referred to felony drug court, and maybe your attorney can speak to them at felony drug court and talk to the ADA and see if they're willing to reconsider. But if you're not accepted in felony drug court, you're going to go to safety.
Yes, Your Honor.
So there's a referral to felony drug court in custody. If not accepted, then safety. Is there anything else from either side?
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor.
Okay, and just one moment. Yeah, okay. All right, good luck to you.
Thank
Oh,
you.
and I'm sorry, one more thing on the record probation. She'll receive credit for the anger management course.
I received my other 2 certificates in 2 weeks.
All right, sure.
It should
Just,
be in the system, they said.
all right, just let probation know.
Yes,
All right, thank you.
thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Carlos Alaman,
Have your coach on?
yes. Oh, and I'm sorry, Miss Abrams, she used to go back on GPS after release.
Yes, Judge, partial.
She's allowed, partial for treatment and employment.
Can I see, SKD installed?
Yes. All right, what is happening on this case? Today is plea deadline date.
Judge, I went down to confer with the first chair in the family violence court. She's made me a new offer. I've made a counter, Judge.
Okay.
So I'm gonna ask the court, I don't know if the court will extend the plea offer deadline one time.
All right, Ms. Ferguson,
Yes, ma'am.
on this, recall it back for July 15th. All right, and thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
Thank you.
All right, so July 15th will be your new plea deadline date.
Judge, can I
Yes.
just, I have to be in Corpus on the 15th. Would the 22nd, just that next week? would that be-
16th,
I'm still there, Judge, on that day.
18th.
18th is fine, Your Honor.
All right, Norma, recall it for July 18th. That will be your plea deadline date. The court will not extend plea deadline date any further.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Go back to your office.
Michael Mora,
Good morning, Your Honor, I'm here.
yes. Where is Miss, oh, this is set for,
Set for tomorrow.
yes.
I'm in federal court in Del Rio at the
Okay.
same time. I asked, there's no opposition to just recalling him, according to the court's schedule, whether the 8th or the 15th. He has 2 MTRs that stem from a new.
Is he in custody?
He's in custody.
All right, Norma, let's recall Mr. Moore for next week. What date?
On Monday?
All right,
If that
so
works for the court.
Norma, July 8th. All right, we'll bring him back on July 8th. And you don't need to give me this.
Well,
I always respect attorneys as officers of the court. If it turns out that somebody was dishonest with the court, then I'll be asking for these documentation.
Out of an abundance of caution, I always.
All right, thank you.
Maybe excuse?
Yes. And Norma, he's actually on the docket for tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, let me put it in this file as well.
Okay. Yes.
Counsel, could you introduce yourself to the court reporter, please? To the court reporter, yes.
Jaime Aldape, ALDAPE. I'll give you a card, has all my info.
Vashon? 2023 CR 4008 is being recalled for Monday. It's Joseph Mora. All right, who's, oh. All right. Who is the prosecutor on Melissa Vanderventer?
Yes, that's.
Okay.
Gotta put myself on that.
All right. Oh, are you waiting for me? No problem.
Love it, mean though,
information regarding ADA or ADAs who opposed the drug court. And they said that typically, because this one cuts off the monitor, typically they are opposed to them doing the drug court.
Mhm.
However, my understanding is, in speaking with Mr. Edelman, is that if the judge, i.e. you, is of the position that you contact the court or emphasize that you wish this person, in essence, Esther Marie Diaz, to
Right, they're gonna
participate in the
restaff
drug
on
court,
Wednesday.
they will allow her to
No,
participate.
I sent an email. They're gonna restaff on Wednesday.
Okay,
I hope nobody objected. See, it's
Not at
better
all,
to-
Judge, no.
Okay, so they said they're gonna restaff on Wednesday. And yes, if they remove the GPS, normally they don't accept them back. So you'll need to speak with them probably on behalf of your client or send an email to them on behalf of your client.
okay, I will do that. I just relaying the information that we found out, and that if
Awesome.
the trial court was of the opinion that she should go and would like her to participate, that would also be. But I think your re-referral does that.
Yes.
I'm just not sure how strongly that goes, but we'll see.
All right. So they're telling me that they're gonna restaff it on Wednesday. So.
Thank you,
All right.
Judge.
All right, thank you, guys. Thanks for checking into that. And who is I know the AD. I don't even know why I asked y'all who the ADAs are, because I know who the AD.
Lowry and
Brooks. Yes, okay. All right, awesome. Oh, Brooks, well, is the defense attorney, but all right.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much for checking into that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay. Excuse me. So whoever, I'm sorry, you're the grandmother? All right, here's the thing. You're not allowed to speak with people who are in the box because deputies are always on high alert. I know. Yeah, I know there's some issues, but communication between people in the box and people in the audience is not allowed, because then that puts the deputies on extra high alert because they're in charge of the safety for everyone in the courtroom, and they'll end up taking him back. But what I can tell you is he does have a new attorney appointed to him, and I'm sure the attorney will speak to you shortly. All right, thank you. It's going to be Mr. DeLeon, and he'll introduce himself to you in a moment. All right, you're welcome.
And I wasn't talking to him. If I did make a gesture and I was like,
Okay.
that's all I did.
All right, so no gestures either, because again, it puts the deputies on high alert, okay? I know sometimes people don't know the rules, so they do certain things, but we just let them know. All right. All right, thank you so much, and thanks for being here for him.
Well, don't be like missing out on the good ones. 44.
Okay. And then shutting that.
Oh,
All right, what page is Catherine Aguilar on? I keep missing it.
Big time.
All right, thank you. All right, Missy Torres.
I'll wait to the front end.
Good morning.
Parents?
All right, are we here for sentencing?
I believe so, Judge. We had reset it for a couple weeks. For sentencing only, I didn't know if that meant there would be a TAP evaluation or not, but apparently not, so.
Well, on this case, it would be, I think you all, both parties agreed to provide the court with a ICTC.
Oh, well, I guess that would be the state, because I certainly don't have access to that.
Yeah. Because I believe the state is silent.
Correct. If I'm not mistaken, Judge, your history is some misdemeanors. Sure. We want to get.
All right, court is calling 2024 CR 5145, State of Texas versus Missy Anna Torres. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
I'm sorry, Robert Burns for Miss Torres.
And are you Miss Torres? All right, you need to speak up so the court reporter can hear. All right, we're here for sentencing today. According to the plea bargain agreement, she pled no contest to count 2 of the indictment. She applied for deferred adjudication. The state is proceeding only on count 2 according to the plea bargain agreement. Punishment is to be assessed at 6 years in the prison, and the state is silent on the defendant's application. The court requested that the defendant's criminal history be provided to the court. There were no objections to the court receiving that from the state. Is that correct?
Correct.
And any objections to the court reviewing that?
No, Judge, of course not.
Right. Thank you, state. All right, the state is silent. Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, of course, Ms. Torres is hoping you'll grant her application for deferred. She's in self-employed cleaning houses. She has several customers that rely on her. She has a few kids. She's just asking for the court to maybe direct her to some outpatient treatment because she believes she needs some help with this problem. And other than that, again, she's just hoping you'll grant her application.
All right, you want to raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Honor. Missy Torres, Missy Ann Torres.
All right, so you're gonna get drug tested today. What are the results going to be?
They will come back a positive.
Positive for what?
Methamphetamine.
All right, so how often are you using meth?
I only do it when I'm under stress, and I did it because I could get denied for adjudication, so I kind of.
I'm sorry, what?
I could get denied the application, so I was kind of I just do it when I'm under stress, so I know I have a problem, and I don't do it like around my children. I don't do it, every day. It's just, when I'm under stress and I was, really scared, and really under stress. So I don't do it when I go to work. I don't do it, every day, like I said.
All right, so how many children do you have?
I have 3.
What are their ages?
11, 8, and 5.
And where are they now?
2 of them are with their dad and 1 is with my grandma.
All right, with your grandmother, so their great grandmother?
Yes.
All right. So, do you help take care of your children?
Yes.
How
I-
often?
I see them every other weekend, and I don't pay child support, but I pay them. My exes and I have my daughter. My daughter is with me.
No, you just said your daughter is with the
Yeah,
great
but
grandmother.
I live with my grandmother.
All right.
I help take care of her. She
All right.
helps me take care of her.
Okay. So 1, I don't think it's appropriate for you to be cleaning houses.
Okay.
because of the nature of this offense. And two, I don't think it's appropriate for you right now to be taking care of your children.
That's why I'm asking for help, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, what?
That's why I was asking for help, Your Honor. That's why.
All right, your help is not going to be outpatient treatment if I grant this application for deferred adjudication. So you're going into custody today.
Okay.
All right, so it's just a matter of what I'm going to do with you. I will tell you the court's issue, and if you want to address this, I know the state is proceeding on count 2 of possession, but she had a lot of drugs with her.
No,
So I don't understand, if you're working homes, then why do you have a scale with
Wait.
you? Because that's, according to this, you had drugs, you had a scale in your purse, and there were baggies totaling 32.0 grams.
well, Your Honor, I was a heavy user back then, and it was.
Oh, you're not, I tell you what, I don't think, and if I'm wrong, correct me, I don't think you were using 32 grams of meth.
It was only 28.
No, you have meth here for 4.964 grams, and you also have meth for 27.459 grams. And what you pled to in count 2 was a possession 4 to 200 grams. So this is not a possession 1 to 4. So we're talking about 27 grams. And according to the stipulations, that what was found in your bag, it says, I searched her bag and inside a Paris Hilton makeup bag box were baggies, a scale, and crystal-like substance inside a cut vacuum sealed bag. That's from your Paris Hilton makeup bag.
So what I had, the meth was it was double bagged in a sandwich bag. So yes, ma'am, I know it was 20, but it's because that was my personal. I didn't have any other. And last time I went, they tried to only give me which was 14 grams. So I had to.
No, what I'm telling you is, they said the baggie found in Robert's pocket tested positive for meth and had a field weight of 6.12
That
grams.
wasn't mine.
No, I'm not saying that was yours. So the 6.12 grams that were found in his pocket, they're saying that was his, it was in his pocket. But the baggie, which was found in Missy's purse, tested positive for meth and had a field weight of 32.09 grams. Now, mind you, what they do in the field, I already know that testing drugs in the field are not legal for court. So I'm not considering the weight and what they said in the field. I'm considering what has been given to me for laboratory reports. So this was the professionals testing it, not a presumptive. And it says 27.459 grams was the net weight of the meth that you had in your Paris Hilton bag.
Yes, Your Honor. And I will say that I used to use a whole ounce within 2 to 3 days. So I was a heavy user, and like I said, they tried to give me half of that the last time, and right now it's going for 250. So if I'm paying 250, I wanted the whole thing. I wanted to make sure. I'm just being honest, and I'm sorry. Excuse me for being.
No, I
transparent.
want you to be honest and I want you to be transparent.
I'm sorry for being transparent, but it's something that I feel like I worked for my money, and I didn't want just to get gypped again. I can promise you I didn't sell anything. It was because I've been gypped many times. So I did get it. Now it was double bagged because I don't know, that's the way they gave it to me. I can't, and it is my mistake and I'm taking full responsibility, but I wasn't selling drugs. I have a job. And back then I was, a heavy user where I would just do it before work, after work, and I didn't have my children in my life. Now I do have my children back in my life, and I'm trying to be a good mom. So I thank you for, giving me an inpatient program.
Well, no, I'm not saying I'm going to give you
I'm
inpatient.
sorry.
What I'm saying is that you're not walking out of this courtroom today. Either you're going to be going to prison or either you're going to be going to inpatient treatment. So it's very important that you be 100% honest with me, because I'm telling you, the state proceeded on a possession, but the amount of drugs you had and the way they were packaged, that's concerning for the court. So you're saying that you just bought a bunch of meth and you were saving it up? for use?
So I would use within 2 to 3 days, that was all my personal. Like I said, they tried to sell me half of that one time and I went back to the same person, but I said, I'm gonna wait myself to make sure I'm getting the right amount because I'm an addict. I'm sorry, I am. And we're not.
So you travel with your own scale?
Well, at the time I did, because like I said, I've been gypped and when you're an addict, that's all you think of, just how to get, make sure you're getting what you need. And honestly, I can see where I made my mistake, but I'm being honest with you, it was my skeleton measure, so my personal, that's it. And I don't know if Robert would tell you that was my personal as well. Like, I mean, I don't want to call him or anything you can if you want to, but he would tell you that's why I used to pick
Oh, no, I'm not gonna be calling Robert because Robert probably has a case of his own.
Right, but I'm saying Robert can tell you too, within 3 days, maybe 2 to 3 days, really, it would have been gone and I would have been back doing it again. Now I don't. It was kind of like a stress thing. And
Where did you get your drugs to use today before you came to court?
Just an old friend. I hadn't talked to him since, and it was on Saturday when I knew it was, coming, and I guess I felt, under pressure.
Can I say something? I think the fact that she would actually go out and do the same drugs that she's about to get sentenced for in a couple of days, I think really speaks to the fact that she has a serious addiction problem that I think only rehab can treat. And if you decide that's ISF or SATF or SAFE, we understand that, but I think she really needs treatment.
All right, this is what the court is there anything else for me to say? All right, this is what the court is gonna do. I see that she hasn't been to prison before. I'm gonna find her guilty, sentence her to 6 years in the prison, the therapeutic community. There's to be no contact with Robert Marble, give her credit for any time served, and I'll retain jurisdiction.
Okay.
And you can explain to her what that means. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. I'll tell her. So here's the thing. When I say that I'm going to retain jurisdiction, what that means is they're going to take you to prison. If you're following the rules at the prison, if you are working on yourself, because they have programs at the prison, your attorney can file a motion. It's called shock probation. Back when I was growing up, they would have scared straight programs. So shock probation is sort of a scared straight program. So hopefully when you go to prison, you will clear your mind.
Yes.
The drug use or the addiction that you have, the craving that you have will be lifted. And if you are doing what you're supposed to do at the prison, if there are no bad reports at the prison, when your attorney comes back for a request for shock probation, I will strongly consider it. So while you're at the prison, you have 180 days. That's when he needs to bring it back before me before that time period. So you're going to do 6 months. And if you are doing well, if there are no write-ups against you, then the court will strongly consider giving you probation. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So, well, I mean, these are going to be choices that you make. It's going to be completely up to you whether or not I strongly consider giving you probation. Your attorney will explain it to you further, but any programs that they have at the prison, like the therapeutic community, to address your issue, you need to take it. I know they have parenting classes at the jail. I don't know how long the transfer will be, but you need to take advantage of that. When you see people come before me and they've gone to anger management class, they've done parenting classes, they've availed themselves of everything at the jail and everything at the prison, that is what you need to do. You need to immediately sign up for it. If for some reason there's overcrowding and they don't give it to you, It would be better for you to have signed up for it than to just throw up your hands and say, I'm not trying. Do you understand?
Yes.
And next time, if you have a case before any judge, don't use before coming to court. You understand? But I do appreciate your honesty, but you're going to have to get your life in order. Otherwise, children is going to be without their mom. You understand? All right. Good luck to you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Who wants to approach? Hi, you're here. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Well, come back down at 12. We have something. Okay. All right. Thanks. All right. Bye-bye. Okay, so shock probation, it is like a straight program. Basically, they go to prison. Hopefully they'll view everything. They won't want to go back. They'll get a clear head about everything. But if she does everything, more likely than not, I'm going to grant her a motion for shock probation. And I'll have her probably see if felony drug court will take her or if Esperanza will take her some inpatient treatment. Okay. Hello.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Yes.
Because we, on behalf of the state, Luis Echeverria, Your Honor, I'm assigned to the Special Crimes Division. This is a case, it's a theft, elderly, makes it a state jail because of the elderly component, as the court is well aware. We do have a complainant here, Your Honor, Ms. Campos. She's the grandmother to the accused.
Could I see the file on Thomas Contreras? Oh, no, I know. And they know the rules.
Oh, okay.
All right, the court is going to go on the record in 2024 CR 46411, State of Texas versus Thomas Contreras. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Yes, Your Honor, Luis Echeverria for the state of Texas.
Michael De Leon for Mr. Contreras.
Are you Mr. Contreras? All right, so state, you were stating several things off record.
Judge, just the complainant in this matter is the grandmother to the defendant or the accused, Ms. Campos. She is here in court today. She's sitting in the gallery. I have spoken with her, Your Honor. Now, I do want to make clear that I am not the ADA assigned this case. It belongs to Hunter Morris and a colleague of mine, but we are in the same division. I'm stepping in for him today. The complainant does not wish to prosecute. She tells me she has filed an affidavit of non-prosecution, but whether or not the court has a copy of that, that's not clear that the court does have a copy of that. What is clear, talking to her, is that she does not want to prosecute. It involves the allegations involve a cell phone that was taken from the complainant. Based on that, Judge, we are tendering a dismissal in this case.
Judge, we have no objection to dismissal. However, Mr. Contreras also has a resisting case out of County Court 15. He's been in custody since February. That case needs to be, well, the County Court 15 people need to be alerted to that particular case for potential resolution.
All right. All right, and Mr. De Leon, I know that you've just been appointed to represent Mr. Contreras. Do you have any objections to the dismissal?
I have no objections.
All right, then the court will sign the dismissal. We're off the record. Mr. Contreras, here's the thing, your grandmother is here for you. But if there are mental health issues, you need to go to the Center for Healthcare Services and have that taken care of, because otherwise you're going to be right back here. Do you understand? Yes or no?
Yeah.
All right, so your grandmother's here trying to help you. Maybe you want her help, maybe you don't want her help. But I know if this ends up escalating to something else, she won't be able to help you. You understand?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, to the grandmother. All right, here's the thing. I know you love your grandson.
Yeah, my grandsons.
Yes, I know you do. But at the end of the day, if he has mental health issues, he's gonna have to get help with that. Otherwise, this is gonna escalate. And you're gonna get to a point where there's a case. Who knows? He may get violent. I don't know. But you're gonna get to a point where you're signing a waiver of prosecution is not gonna help him. So there are plenty of places that are free. He can go to the Center for Healthcare Services. I can't tell you what to do with your own home, but what I can tell you is it's not going to help him. It's not going to. All right, and the officer who's here? Oh, and if you could hang around just 2 more minutes.
I need to speak to the court about an anti-court matter.
All right, thank you. And you're Detective Drew? I am. All right, could you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear all is true and correct and within your personal knowledge? All right, you can pour your hand and sign. Yeah, when you were telling me it was there, I'm like, my glasses are really not working. Who's here? Maria Anita Ruiz.
I'm on this, that one here.
Are you
She's still in
ready?
the back there.
All right, so as soon as they figure out, we'll take care of that.
Yes, sir.
Jason, what's Daniel's? The Daniel got us. I better already know.
Yeah, I think, make sure. Yeah. Thank God.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Judge, who's reading in to speak?
All right, just give me a moment. All right, the person are y'all ready on Maria Ruiz? All right, Maria Ruiz, come down.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so where are we on this?
Judge, so I've conferred with the state. Daniel had been speaking to me about this last setting.
Mhm.
I reached out to the community court, Matthew Howard's the EDA in charge of that. So they're gonna review her as an applicant for the court to see if we can possibly resolve it. Can we recall this possibly for Monday?
Yes. Norma, are we able to recall this for Monday? All right, we'll bring you back on the 8th. You understand?
Yes.
You have any questions about anything? All right, we'll see you back on the 8th.
Thank you, Judge. You have a nice day.
You're welcome, you too.
Thanks, Mom.
And Mr.
Monday.
Delion, I'll take you up just after this case. All right, who's here on Darren Johnson? All right, where are we on this case?
Judge, I mean, I talked to Mr. Davidson about it. It seems real weird. This case was here on June 10th. And then on my indication in my file, I wrote that it was coming back for a plea deadline on July 29th. However, it was called for on the docket on June 27th.
Yes.
Which indicates that there was a no-show. We don't have any indication of why it was set for the June 27th. Because of my understanding, it was to be called back to the 29th.
Oh, it was the June 27th date was requested by defense because the defendant wasn't here, but there was a reason why she wasn't
On
here.
June 10th, okay.
Yes, and so that's why.
Okay.
But we can put it on the 22nd,
29th.
the 29th.
29th of July, Judge.
All right,
Good.
the 29th.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we'll recall it for the 29th.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you're welcome. All right, we'll
Thank you,
call you
Your
back
Honor.
for the
Thank you.
29th. You're welcome. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And are you from out of town?
I'm not, Your Honor. I live in San Antonio. I've been here since 2019.
Okay, so are you employed?
I'm on Social Security. I'm a registered nurse with a master's,
Okay.
but because I have these criminal charges I'm trying to clear right now, I'm unable to work as a registered nurse.
Okay,
I've been a registered nurse since 1988, and I worked at COVID ICU at University Hospital. That was my last place of employment.
okay. All right, so we'll see where we are on the 29th then. Usually the reason why I ask that is because I don't want people to lose employment because they're coming to court.
No, Your Honor, I'm glad to come anytime I receive notice. I wasn't here because I received no notice, Your Honor.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much, and thank you. You always dress appropriately for court.
It's St. John Knit, Your Honor. I pick it specially for you. I watch you on TikTok.
Oh, okay. All right, the TikTok is not mine, but okay. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Have a great day.
Thank you, Your Honor. You have to sign this reset form, so just.
Mr. Attorney, what is your name?
Walter Weller.
William Davidson.
This is a plea. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 3954, State of Texas versus Walter Charles Weller. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Andrew Harris, Edelman.
Defense.
Honest on behalf of Mr. Weller.
And are you Mr. Weller?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
We have, Your Honor, and I have.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Weller, did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the application for deferred adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram? That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
And
Your
did you
Honor.
intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Weller, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promise you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, the state is requesting a $2,000 fine and the state is recommending deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 2 years. There be a TAP evaluation and 120 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence?
Contained in Exhibit 1 and attachments, Your Honor.
No objections, Your
All
Honor.
right, state, you may be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same.
Your name is Mr. Redmond?
Tony Adonis, yes, Your Honor.
All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, I don't know if the court recalls, but the court had reset this case a couple of weeks so that Walter could finish the dual diagnosis recovery program
Yes.
at Ripple Ranch. I just wanted to show the court that he has in fact completed that program. and successfully completed it and has received a certificate of completion.
All right, thank you. Excuse me, could you hand that to probation, please? All right, is there anything else?
Other than Judge, he seems to be doing very well. He tells me he learned a lot from that program and is excited to continue.
All right, so is he still working with them, an outpatient?
They have recommended outpatient program for him, Judge. He's got a couple of documents that indicate the different programs. I'm not sure if they're in San Antonio, though. Is that right?
Yeah, well, then I also was going to attend a church in Elmendorf where I live. So it's a Catholic church I normally went to, but I stopped going in 2020 with the COVID. Just never went back.
All right, and the facility that he was previously with, what's the full name?
It's a Ripple Ranch Recovery Center.
I'm sorry,
Ripple Ranch Recovery Center,
RIPP.
RIPPLE. Yes. No, it's in Spring Branch.
So where is Spring Branch located? What county?
281 North, I believe it's Blanco County, isn't it?
I think so.
I think it's Blanco County.
All right, so,
And there was a 30-day inpatient program that he finished.
all right, so does he want to be transferred to Spring Branch?
No.
So where is he going to continue with his outpatient treatment with
It
them?
would be in Elmendorf, Texas, where I live.
All right,
Yeah.
and do you have children?
Yes, I have 3 now, Your Honor.
All right, and why was Candace, the juvenile Candace, does she live with you?
She lives on her own now, Your Honor.
And how old is she?
She's 19 now.
Okay. All right, this is what the court is going to do. There's going to be a $2,000 fine that will be probated, 2 years deferred adjudication, 120 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once he completes that, that'll be deemed satisfied. We'll do a transfer to Elmendorf, Texas. You're not on probation in Elmendorf until they accept the transfer. You're to continue with your treatment with.
Elmendorf is Bear County.
Yeah.
It is so far. I mean, Elmendorf is in Bear County, but I will tell you, I represented a child and that was one of the longest drives ever. All right, thank you. So he will not be transferred to Elmendorf because he's already in Bear County. Okay. So, but he's it's probation. He can live in Elmendorf then. There's going to be parenting classes. Once you complete those, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. Are you to continue your treatment with Ripple Ranch Recovery System? There's going to be anger management, regular random UAs,
Okay.
regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Are you employed?
Not at the moment.
All right. There's going to be proof of employment within 45 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. I'm going to ask for field visits 1 time per month until completion of TAP evaluation. And I'm going to order a TAP evaluation and probation. If TAP recommends inpatient treatment, we'll start with outpatient treatment. All right. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Is there anything else you need from the court?
No, Your Honor.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing, to be successful on probation in this court, communication is key. If you have a question, ask your probation officer. If you feel as though they're not addressing it, you can always come back to the court and we'll address it. You understand? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Maybe two.
Welcome. All right, so we're gonna take our break and we'll be back.